I am Bob Eckert, and I represent the National Association of Peace Practitioners, NAP. This protest march is organized by NAP to lend its voice to the xenophobic attacks of Nigerians in South Africa. And we're having this in collaboration with the Association of Nigerian Authors, the Society for Peace Studies and Practitioners, the Democratic Socialist Movement, and a broad range of civil society organizations. It is basically to lend our voice to the struggle against xenophobia on Africans, non-South African Africans living in South Africa. We believe that South Africa has enjoyed the support of Africans from every country in Africa. Nigeria particularly did so much to South Africa to liberate that country from the stronghold of apartheid, and we believe it is not right for the citizens of Nigeria to be butchered and killed in that country. We believe the government of Nigeria is not doing enough. It is not enough to say that we are monitoring the situation. Nigerians are getting killed, and stronger diplomatic actions have to be taken. South Africa benefits so much from the economy of Nigeria. Lots of their companies are making so much money from this country, and we believe it is not right for them to stop our people from enjoying the economic dividends of their country as well. Reciprocity is the norm in international relations. If you treat us well, we treat you well. That's a known thing. If they do not want us to do business in their country, they have no right to do business in Nigeria. And that is the stand of all of these associations gathered here today.
Well, Lanre Ariajia is my own name. The reason why I'm joining this effort is because of what is happening in South Africa. We say this is a bad thing to start with. We are saying that as a body, we go against it. We are not in any way in support of it. We are thinking and we believe that for South Africa, for what they have passed through as a nation, they are not supposed to be the kind of people that should be doing this kind of program against fellow humanity, particularly Africans. It is wrong to have it against humanity in any way. And we are also saying that for South Africa, that teaches us and makes us believe that they do have a philosophy of Ubuntu that is very all-embracing, that is that's more or less translated to love thy neighbor as thyself. We are saying that this is wrong, and it should not be accommodated in any way. And this is why we are joining this particular effort to press home our own position about it, to tell our government that they have to make decisive effort to ensure that such a thing should not happen and must not happen again.
Agatola. We cannot but condemn human beings killing another sects of human beings. But the issues must not be confused. The events in South Africa, first and foremost, the ordinary people and even those engaged in the killings cannot be held responsible for the activities. First and foremost, the South African ANC government must be held responsible and accountable. The neoliberal economic policies of the Zuma government, indeed the transformation of the ANC from a liberating party organized around the programs that will have been the basis of transforming South Africa, making it a society of mass equality for the mass of the ordinary people in South Africa, is first and foremost responsible for the crisis we have seen here. And the entirety of the working mass of South Africans can and should not be held responsible for what is taking place, which is organized by a few. The King of Zulu, whose statement provoked this current reaction, must also be held responsible and accountable. All of the issues involved in this must not be mistaken. Indeed, the Nigerian government must also not be excluded from the crisis currently going on. They are also responsible for the series of massive immigrations of Nigerians seeking better fortunes for their life outside of the shores of Nigerians. So if you ask me, the major demands that needs to be placed on the basis of these activities is first and foremost to call on the South African governments to pay the necessary adequate compensations for all of the victims of this present events in South Africa. But I haven't stated that we must raise a general appeal to the mass of the working people in South Africa, who must begin the process of organizing a mass political organization that must act as an alternative to the ANC government and must put in place policies and programs that will resolve the problems of the mass unemployment in South Africa. The same thing applies to the government in Nigeria. The coming Buhari regime must not be taken as necessarily any different from the kind of governments we have in Nigeria. As Nigerians have been busy placing demands, the question I pose is that if Nigerians who have run away from this country are willing to return back to this country, is the Buhari regime prepared to provide a living wage to all of these problems, to all of these people who will throw back to Nigeria? So we must not think that this is a time to blame ordinary South Africans who themselves, are angered, are expressing their frustrations against a system that is making life possible. What we condemn through this protest is to say that those to be blamed are not the ordinary Nigerians who are also seeking for greener fortunes in their country. The blames and responsibility must be placed at the fruits of the neoliberal government in South Africa as well as the neoliberal government in Nigeria. The way forward is for the mass of the working people of all of this country to organize independently and put in place a government that will organize and manage the resources of society and ensure that a living minimum wage is paid to workers, unemployment benefit is paid to youths, and society organized to ensure that the basic needs and responsibility of societies are met. This is the only situations that will prevent events like this from occurring. Any other thing will just be shading, will just be chasing shadows. It is on this note that we call on Nigerians that if we must stop what is going on in South Africa, we also have a responsibility to raise issues in our own country, because the conditions in Nigeria are not necessarily any different. And the mass of the people are also expressing their various angers. The increasing role of religion and ethnicity in the last elections are clear pointer, and factor to the fact that Nigeria is not any different, and that the same explosions that we are seeing in South Africa will also rear its head in Nigeria. The only way to prevent these explosions is for young people to organize along an alternative framework that the resources of this society are adequate, are enough, if managed democratically. The needs and well-being of the mass of the working people needs to be met. The problem in South Africa and in Nigeria is a capitalist profit motive system that is organized to make profit for what? For the rich. Until we bring this system to an end, racism, fascism, xenophobia, and all other things that are against the human beings will continue their very folds. It is in this note that we support these present actions to raise legitimate demands, to end the kind of attack, the necessary minimal compensation be paid to those who have been victims, and that the Nigerian government must immediately take responsibility and accept all Nigerians who want to return back to this country, provide the necessary accommodations and the necessary resources that will commence them to have a better life in their own country. Thank you very much.
Daughter, and the reason why I'm here is to protest against the Nigerian government and the government of Republic of South Africa for the ongoing massacre and genocide that is going on in South Africa, not only against Nigerians but against all black men and women that have been attacked and humiliated and annihilated in South Africa. It is wrong for us to kill anybody. Death is not an answer. Death is not a punishment for whatever thing that one had done. Let alone Nigeria had provided enough for South Africans. Nigerians as people had supported South Africans in their own time of troubles. We have fought for them. We have housed them. Currently, Nigerians are even feeding them because they have multinational companies here in Nigeria that are even feeding South African economy, not only Nigerian economy. But I'm not actually blaming the